to me, my Saturday Night Losers. I am Jesse, the Saturday Night Loser. We are first show post Toy Fair. All week has been Toy Fair, all over the place. You should check out all my coverage. Make sure, listen, I put a lot of work into this. Make sure you go to my website, the-newsbox.com, plug a ROM already, and check out all the pictures that I've posted for your viewing pleasure. Ton of pictures, definitely go check it out. So since we are post Toy Fair, I am trying to slowly move along. There's still a little bit more to go, but we're going to try and put some of that behind us. I have a mediocre show once again for you on tap. In the second segment, we're going to go live to Connecticut and talk to Khalil from Kastor's Korner. We are going to talk a little bit of Toy Fair. And in the third segment, we're going to take a look at this. What is this? This, my friends, is a DC Collectibles Chris Uminga statue that I got from Toy Fair. So we are totally moving away from Toy Fair, but we're going to open this up. We're going to devalue this right here on the show. That's going to be in the third segment, but first, the news. I have to get my serious voice on. The news. Okay. This story is a little bit of an old story. Since we didn't do any real news in Toy Fair last week on Saturday Night Losers, I did want to talk about this one because it's important to me. Brian Michael Bendis, as everyone is aware, is taking over the reins on Superman. He's going to have a sub-story in Action Comics 1000, and as of Action Comics 1001, he's going to be taking over Superman and rebooting the Superman main title, akin to John Bryan's 1986 Man of Steel. So with him taking over all of these comics, what's happening to the stories that are going on right now? Well, we go to bleedingcool.com for that answer. Right now, Peter Tomasi, Pat Gleason are on Superman, and Dan Jurgens, Superman extraordinaire writer, who did the story arcs in the 90s for Superman, both have story arcs going on right now that have to be concluded. They're probably going to be cut short and concluded because Bendis taking over. So Tomasi and Gleason, who I love, man, I love their work on Batman and Robin, and I love Superman Rebirth. Their story arc gets wrapped up on May 16th with a special oversized Superman special #1. That's going to wrap up the whole Dino Island story arc that started on issue #8, I believe. I would have liked to see these two go out in a bigger way. The Dino Island story arc was okay. I don't know. I mean, they delved into so much. I would have rather seen them do something bigger, but what are you going to do? Jurgens' run on Action Comics, that gets wrapped up on May 2nd with an oversized Action Comics #1. His story arc where Luthor goes good, that's going to get wrapped up in a story called Last Will and Testament of Lex Luthor. Listen, I mean, he's got a badass costume, so you can't beat that. Also, part of that Action Comics wrap-up, special oversized edition, #1, blah, 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 will be a story that was kind of tossed away by Max Landis and art by Francis Manapul. God, I love his work. That's also going to be included, as I said, in Action Comics special #1. So, that being said, man, it's bittersweet. I don't know if bittersweet's the right word. I'm real curious to see what Brian Michael Bendis is going to do as Superman. I'm looking forward to it, but like I said, Tomasi and Gleason. Gleason is staying, I think, on Action to do the artwork. I don't know where Tomasi's heading, but those guys were so good together. It's sad to see them go. And, Jurgens on Action. These guys were planning around to be on for a while, especially Gleason and Tomasi, and to have their stories cut short, I don't know. I guess that's the business. Anyway, that's what I wanted to cover there. Now that we're done with that, we're going to come back to DC in a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about Marvel. Speaking of Brian Michael Bendis, not only did he upturn DC, but he left a gigantic hole in Marvel with him leaving. Only a few months after the Marvel Legacy Initiative was announced or into effect, Marvel recently announced that they're going to reboot again, this time with a fresh start. That's the name of it. This time around, the reboot is being led by Joe Quesada, who has been doing time on the TV and film side. He's coming back to do the comics with current editor-in-chief C.B. Cebulski. Those two are going to lead the charge on this fresh start. It smells... No, I'm not smelling what The Rock is cooking. It smells a lot like Rebirth. But with Brian Michael Bendis leaving, it's clear to see why. Why would they keep on doing this legacy since he's gone? And with Alex Alonso gone as well, they had to do something new. Not much is known yet about what's going to happen. The promo art, I got to tell you something, Bleeding Cool was ahead of this one too. We had talked about this a couple weeks ago. Bleeding Cool was speculating that Jim Chung was doing something behind the scenes because he kept posting all these interesting and beautiful artwork by featuring Marvel characters on his Instagram. Well, they were ahead of the curve on this one because the promotional art that was released along with this information was by Jim Chung, and Spidey front and center. It's an awesome piece of work. So in that, so like I said, Spider-Man's front and center. Also, there is Wolverine's in there. The Thing is in there. Deadpool, Gambit. I'll tell you what, it's nice to see those Fox figures that are, well, not Fox figures, but they're, the movie licensing owned by Fox back into the fold. Can anybody say Fantastic Four? Thing is there. Fantastic Four cannot be too far away. So we know that Jim Chung's going to be involved with this in some way, in some capacity. Hopefully he's doing Spider-Man, because his Spider-Man really reminds me of the Spider-Man that I grew up with. One of the teams that was announced by Marvel, Jason Aaron and Ed McGuinness, were going to be taking on Avengers. Man, I'll tell you, I love Ed McGuinness. I have his run on Deadpool from the 90s. Phenomenal art. When I wanted to draw way back when, I have those books somewhere in here in this mess, and they are not in good condition because I love his art. It's good stuff. I'm looking to see what he has done. Look, Marvel is taking a beating on this in social media, but granted, it is social media. But this is the quote-unquote 8th reboot they've done since 2012. I think saying it's 8 is a bit harsh. There's some hard reboots. There's some soft reboots. It sounds kind of perverted. Regardless, listen, it wasn't too long ago that DC Comics did this little thing called New 52, where they upturned everything with Flashpoint. And within that New 52, there were soft reboots and blah, blah, blah. And then they did Convergence, and Convergence was supposed to fix everything. God. And then finally they got it right with Rebirth. So what's the takeaway to this? The takeaway is hopefully we're going to see some back to basic characters, some back to basic storytelling. Cap's in that artwork. Thor. I don't mind. Listen, I embrace the multiverse. If they want to keep Riri Williams as Tony Stark, not as Tony Stark, as Iron Man, and Jane Foster as Thor, tell those stories. Put them on another Earth and tell those stories. I don't care. I'm just glad that they're going to go the Rebirth route. Do I smell Rebirth? And retell some new stories. Anyway, onward. Hollywood Reporter had the exclusive. I want to say it like this. It's redundant. Hollywood Reporter is reporting. Well, of course they're reporting. It's the Hollywood Reporter. Anyway, they have the exclusive story that Joss Whedon is leaving Batgirl. Interesting. He pitched that story to DC. He pitched it to them for Batgirl back in March of 2017. Joss Whedon was quoted as saying, "Batgirl is such an exciting project, and Warner's and DC such collaborative and supportive partners that it took me months to realize I didn't have a story." Look, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I sit behind a table with a tablecloth on it in my garage. I don't know the first thing about anything, but this smells funny. This smells like something with that whole Justice League movie just didn't go right, and he's walking away. I don't know for sure, but it looks that way. And then to boot, this has nothing to do with anything, But Zack Snyder liked some tweet somebody sent out that was saying that Joss was leaving the project. I think it's funny. What is for certain is that the DC Extended Universe is slowly but surely falling apart. Who knows? One last thing about the DC Universe. This time, let's go to Syfy. They've released a new trailer for Krypton. Take a look.
This is Krypton, and this is the story of the House of L.
My name is Adam Strange. Someone from the future is coming to destroy Krypton. Because your grandson becomes the greatest hero in the universe. Superman.
I've been having this vision.
We are not alone in the universe.
Either rise or you fall.
It's known as the Collector of Worlds, but his true name is Brainiac.
Son of Krypton, your world is at an end.
I gotta do what I
You know, my opinion of this is changing. I was not about this story at all. I didn't think it needed to be told. This is probably one of those times where I should just keep my fucking mouth shut. Adam Strange is in that. Listen, if they're going to have Adam Strange in any way, shape, or form in the show, and he's not in that red suit with the backpack, I'm going to be pissed. The second trailer focused primarily on Brainiac. You get a good look at Brainiac, and he looks cool, but if you really want a good looking Brainiac, if you want a really good looking Brainiac, there was promotional art released along the way. In the trailer, you just get his face, but there is a headshot, and you get to see the holes in his head. He just looks like Brainiac. It's a really good representation. I saw that promo image, and then I watched the trailer. I'm like, this looks pretty good. You get a good look at that skull ship. Man, it's very organic looking. I don't know. I think I'm going to give this a shot. And then I'm curious. I'm not sure how I feel about the whole Superman cape. And if Superman's cape disappears, blah, 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 blah. I get it. I get what they're going with. I mean, it's cool to see his cape. That's for sure. I'm going to give this a shot. Krypton premieres on Syfy on March 21st. That's it for the news. I want you to sit right there. Don't move. Don't even go get a drink. Because we're coming back live to go to Connecticut and talk to Khalil from Kastor's Korner. I'm watching. Don't.
Superman, man, am I glad to see you.
What are you doing on this deserted road?
Some guys from school drove out here and we're gonna start fooling around with drugs. When I told them all drugs do is mess up your head and get you in a lot of trouble, they kicked me out of the van and drove off.
You're right not to get involved in the drug scene. Nobody with any sense wants any part of it.
How do I get home?
That's no problem at all.
It's that time again. We're going to go live to talk to Khalil from Kastor's Korner. Khalil, let me ask you something. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing, Jesse?
Good. How is your post-Toy Fair recovery going?
I took a couple of days off, which means I went to my day jobs.
Okay.
So this weekend is all about getting up. I mean, we posted on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, but we really just haven't had a chance to dive in.
Yeah.
And since all the other sites really just posted everything, I thought it would be better for us to take time and really talk about some of the pieces and not just throw up galleries. So, I mean, that's where I am this week.
I mean, it's literally like throwing up, because that's basically what I've been doing since Saturday. So
Yeah.
The show was Saturday to Tuesday. We were there Saturday and Sunday. And since Saturday, it's basically been that, just puking up galleries. I'm not even, well, I'm pretty close to being done. There's a couple more I have to put up. But, man, there's so much. And I'm at the point, so it's been a week. I'm at the point where, not that I'm sick of it, but it's like, is everybody else getting sick of it? Because that's all I've been posting.
Well, not only that, but like I've gotten new stuff since then.
Okay.
So like my head's already like, even though I'm still working through the images and working through the write-ups,
Yep.
I've got new stuff to talk about.
Right.
So it's a non-stop, like it's a train that's barreling ahead, and we have no way to get on or off.
But the good part is that the news since Toy Fair this week is very slow, toy-wise, because everybody like us is sort of recovering. Yeah,
Well,
companies and stuff like that.
except
Okay.
for the fact that Instagram's been blowing up because the Las Vegas toy show is going on this weekend.
Okay.
And I believe it looked like a official display. It wasn't like a Toys R Us find or anything, but it looked like the Killmonger Everett Ross set package showed up, and everybody's kind of surprised because Everett Ross has 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, and weapons, and Killmonger has 2 arms, 2 legs, and and weapons, and then there's an extra pair of legs in the middle of the package. So everybody's kind of curious to see what Hasbro's going to announce or what that's going to be.
So before we get into the details of that, did they show that at Toy Fair? Like, I know during the presentation they showed a lot of figures. It's all blur. I don't remember seeing that 2-pack. I remember seeing them during the presentation, but I don't remember seeing them in the booth.
It wasn't in the booth, and the reason it wasn't in the booth was because they tend to shy away from showing retailer exclusives in the booth.
Okay.
And I think it's Target. It's going to be a Target set. So
are you saying that these Instagram pictures are items that were actually in Target or something that Hasbro brought to the expo?
I think that they looked like something from the expo because they had the 2 figures out in front.
Yep.
They had the box picture in the back.
Okay.
And it had a little plaque in front of it.
Gotcha.
I'm thinking it's at some kind of trade show, and then I saw Las Vegas has a show this weekend, so I'm thinking that's what's there.
If there's an extra pair of legs in there, who needs extra set of legs?
Well, the rumor that's been going around on the boards and Facebook for the past year or so is that there's a certain character who has been in every Marvel movie since
Nick Fury.
He hasn't been in all of them.
Shit. I can't remember. Who?
He might be a watcher or an informant. There's a rumor that the Stan the Man Lee is making his second appearance in the Marvel Legends line.
You know what? Honestly, look, however you feel about Stan Lee, I'm on the fence, whatever. I think he's a good ambassador, but whatever. It's about time. I mean, Funko is actually putting out, I saw the Stan Lee pop this weekend from at Walmart from when he was the cop in not Civil War. What was the Cat movie? Was it the first Avenger? I think maybe it was the first Avenger when he was the cop. They have that pop figure at Walmart.
Yeah, they've got that one. But this is the second Marvel Legends figure. This isn't the first.
Is it in recent times?
Since Hasbro took over, I believe.
Okay.
They did one early on.
Okay.
It was you can swap out and make him Spider-Man.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, like so you can swap out parts. It had cloth pants and jacket. So it was a cool little piece. That was a San Diego exclusive.
Okay.
So they've done one.
Okay.
But this is the first this could be the first mass retail one.
I would definitely buy a Stan Lee figure. I'd definitely buy a Marvel Legends Stan Lee figure.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to buy a lot of figures to get Stan Lee, I have a feeling. So
whatever. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about Toy Fair, even though I just said that maybe everybody's getting sick of it. So we did Saturday Night Losers last week from the show.
That was fun.
It was a lot of fun. We had a good time. But we haven't talked since then. So what is your overall perception of Toy Fair overall?
I think Hasbro blew it out of the water. Like Hasbro is just work for us.
Yep.
Basically.
Yep.
Like the amount of toys we saw at Hasbro was just
yes.
It was both amazing and daunting to think about the amount of money. It's just the sheer amount of money of stuff that I want. But I think overall,
before we leave Hasbro,
yeah.
The one thing that is lingering with me is that the 10-year cinematic line talking about Killmonger and Everett. What was his name? I always forget his name. Who's the other figure in that pack? Yes. He's not. Oh, so he's just a retailer. Excuse me. Okay, well, you just ruined my segue. The 10-year cinematic figures, that line, I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, I think it's interesting because I had the opportunity to pick up a few Hasbro Legends that I didn't have.
Okay.
And I had him in, like, a friend of mine was saving him, and I'm like, oh, I don't need Carnage, and now I don't need Hulkbuster, and I don't need the Hulk. Like, I'm just, like, checking off because I'm not going to pay those extra prices and when I could just get it at retail. So I think it's amazing. And there's more coming, I've heard.
Oh, no kidding.
It's not
for
just
the cinematic line.
Of the cinematic line. I heard there might be a 4-pack.
No shit.
Yep. So there's
any idea?
I can't remember off the top of my head who's in it, but there's I heard that there might be more coming. So
it makes sense. It is a big deal. 10 years.
We don't have a Claw.
No.
We don't have a Killmonger in his like tactical suit.
And what about? I'm just happy to see Ronan. I've always wanted a Ronan figure from Guardians of the Galaxy. It's about time.
Ronan, Red Skull. I mean, all of those. Like it's So between Hasbro's Marvel team putting out everything under the sun, Star Wars trying to build the universe bigger and bigger and bigger. That HasLab thing is amazing.
Yep.
And even Transformers wasn't the belle of the ball, but they definitely have that Predaking that the 10-year-old, 5-year-old in me that really would love to get my hands on it. So
now I'm not big on Transformers, but I know you are. Would you buy that?
The Predaking?
Yes.
You know what? As a kid, I never had the whole thing, so I could never build them. I only had the Rhino.
Okay.
So yeah, like to have them, and they look G1 accurate. They look very boxy, like the old ones did. So it's kind of fun. So I don't know if I have to choose between Marvel Legends and that if I'd get that, but
dude, you got 2 kidneys. Come on.
Yeah, but I want the glove too. I want the glove. So
all right, let's talk the elephant in the room. Do you have it with you?
This
I don't have it with me. Yes. What is that, Khalil?
Well, tell
everybody what that is.
Let's give all the collectors like a little.
Oh no! Wait, I gotta zoom in on this. You're gonna devalue it. Oh my God! He devalued it live. What are you doing? No! Oh my God!
Well, the thing is, like,
he's fucking really unboxing that live.
You can't really see it if I don't open it. You're not gonna see the figure.
Oh my God!
This little figure. Ooh.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was bad. All right.
Well, look what he just did. Oh, Jesus. Oh, have mercy on us all. He did it. He devalued it. Oh, good job, Khalil. Let's take a look at it. What are we looking at here?
So this is the Ascending Knight Toy Fair exclusive 112 figure from Mezco.
Yep.
It was limited to.
Why is it such a big deal that I was wigging out? Tell us.
Well, I think everybody's freaking out because everybody thought we bought stuff, which our press and some of the people we didn't buy anything.
Yeah, that's not what Toy Fair is about.
Everything was given to us as a gift. It was part of a gift bag, and honestly, I didn't even know what it was until we got out and actually looked at it. So I actually devalued this back in the Javits Center.
Oh, no, you did not.
I opened it right in the middle of the cafeteria. I was like, let's see what this actually looks like. So,
wow.
I think some of the confusion is that we bought stuff. I saw a bunch of people walking up going, can I buy this today? Can I buy this today? Which is, we've talked about this.
It's typical. There's always somebody who says you can't buy stuff at Toy Fair. It's an industry event. We just go as press to send pictures because but basically that's what it's all. It's more for retailers, Walmart, Target, and all the small stores in between. They purchase for the year what they're going to purchase toy-wise. It's not really for individual peoples to go to Mezco Toys and say, I want that. What Batman is that? Ascending Batman.
Yeah, the Ascending Knight. And the thing is, there's going to be an exclusive Batman Day one coming up in the next few months.
Okay.
It's going to have a gold belt instead of an all black belt.
Oh, interesting. So basically it's going to be the same figure, but it's going to have a different belt.
Right. And then the normal release is, I think, gray and black. And then they have an exclusive one that's going to be blue and gray.
Okay.
So there's going to be at least 4 versions of this figure out there. But toy collectors and Toy Fair exclusives are kind of a little nutty. I'll just say it. I'll just put it right out there. They're kind of. And the thing is, I think that the thing is we get these as a gift. It's really nice to have, but some of us, shell out a decent amount of money to go to these events.
Yep.
And some of these, some of our sites aren't bringing in the cash to cover a full trip, like to San Diego or to New York Comic Con or to an event like this, because I know some West Coast people that have come to Toy Fair. So I think everybody's upset because some people are selling these right now.
Yeah, selling. Now, I think the biggest deal is the first one that went up on eBay.
Yep.
Now, go ahead.
It's going for at currently about $6,000.
$6,000. But here's the thing: there have been subsequent figures that have gone up for sale that aren't nearly as high as that.
No.
I mean, they're still going for a decent amount, like $1,000.
That's a decent amount.
No, no disagreement here. I'm just saying it's like you have this one figure that's at $6,000, which is the first one that went up. And then there's a couple other ones that are now at $1,000. The thing is, like you said, they're given to us as gifts from the companies, and under the guise that we're really not supposed to sell it. I don't know if it's an unwritten contract or it is a written contract, but you're not really supposed to sell it.
Well, I know that Lego. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I know that Lego does this for their employees, so they give them exclusive items like these that are 200 made or 100 made, and they actually have it written into their contracts, their work agreements or whatever it is, that those things cannot be flipped at all.
Okay.
So this is an unspoken thing, but companies definitely do watch these auctions and check the message boards, and there can be some penalties for those that choose to sell them.
Well, so my point in bringing out that the first one that went up is at $6,000 and that the other ones are $1,000 is that it could be that first one is overinflated.
It could be, but yeah, and the ones the collectors will sell the price, and I think some of the arguments that were going on some of the boards were you're scalping them, you're taking advantage. I don't think it's taking advantage if you're throwing it up for auction.
No, and the first auction
sell the price.
Started at the first auction started at 99 cents.
Right.
And I know that you were not that you were mixing it up with somebody on the boards, but you were trying to explain the situation, and not that you were being accused, but you pointed out that it was put out at 99 cents, and that therefore nobody's trying to scalp here. It's the people who want it have been driving it up. And honestly, like the first bid put it up to what, $300?
Well, but the way that the eBay works is, excuse me, it looks like it's one bid, but really that could have been 10 bids.
Because, you're right. You're right, absolutely.
So that was that guy's limit.
Right, exactly. So the guy put up the first. I should explain myself better. So the person who bid 99 cents really bid $300. It wasn't until the next bid that came along that jacked it up over 300. My point is that and I think it went between 2 or 3 people initially. That it's those 2 or 3 people who bid on that item are the ones who set the market for that item.
Right.
Look, I know I hate scalpers. I hate going to toy shows where this figure is selling for $500. I'm not saying that's what it is right now, but let's just say 6 months from now, we go to you or I or anybody else goes to a toy show and it's selling for $600-700. That I can't stand. But when somebody, pardon me, gets an item like that and starts it at 99 cents, and this is one of these times where the market does in fact drive the value. Case in point, all those. I'm sorry, I know I'm rambling. The rest of the other ones that came up, there's 5, 6, 7. I don't know how many are up right now, but they're not nearly as high. They're at 1,000. Actually, a couple of them were at a couple hundred, which is still a lot. Don't get me wrong, but it's not 6,000. I don't think. My point in all this is that I really think the value of this figure is probably more along the lines of $1,000 as opposed to $6,000. I'd be really curious if the person who started this auction, that very first auction, actually gets $6,000 for that figure. And if they do, God bless.
Yeah, and I think that the interesting thing is that this happens every year. last year it was the Punisher.
Yes.
This year it's this Batman. Previously, Lego had been giving out exclusive minifigures, and those go for thousands.
And they stopped because wasn't it a couple years ago one went over $1,000 and they stopped doing that.
Yeah, like they just do. So I think that the companies are aware of it. It creates a buzz for their company.
Yeah.
It's a nice little gift. It's the problem is it comes down to the exclusivity. Whereas the first time they did this, they gave you a stripped down version of Spock.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it comes in a custom package. It's different than the normal release, but it's stripped down. So if you don't get the normal release, you're not going to have all the stuff.
Right.
This one is a straight, I think everything in this box is coming with the other ones, plus it's an exclusive costume. It made this one exclusive. It made this one. And the fever that goes over these Mezco 112 figures lately, there was no doubt that this was going to go insanely priced because they sell out so quickly. But hey, you know what? I mean, mine's open. It's probably going to go into display. It looks really cool. It's really hard to say I'm going to get rid of it. 5 years down the line, maybe. When I get rid of some, start purging the collection. But right now it's all over my floor. I've got to find all the parts.
On one hand, when it goes for something like that, it goes for $6,000. Everybody would feel the same way. If they had it, they got it as a gift, and it would be like, holy fuck.
That's my budget.
How many items do you have in your house that you could turn over and make $6,000?
I don't think I could sell my car for $6,000.
You what?
I don't think I could sell my car for $6,000.
See what I mean? So it's on one hand, it's exciting. It's like what I did. When we go to these things, we get swag bags from the different companies, and I still have all my stuff. I haven't even gone through it all. It's all still in the bags. After I saw that thing was going for $6,000, I immediately put it up high because I have a dog who loves to chew up everything right now, and I'm thinking that fucker would go out of his way to find that Batman and chew it.
Yeah. So I just think it'll be interesting to see how this all shakes out. Not only if that auction actually goes through, but if the buyer actually pays.
Yeah.
Because that's also an option too, and we'll see.
The one thing I was curious about is if Mezco would, and I don't know what kind of recourse they have, if Mezco would try and take the auction down. Or, go to eBay and have them take it down. Speaking of dogs.
Yeah, speaking of dogs, mine decided to wake up. So I apologize.
That's fine.
So, don't chew the
Yeah, whatever you do, don't choose the Mezco figures that are going for $6,000.
At some point, he will calm down. Come here.
All right, well, we're at a good 20 minutes here. So what do you got going on this week?
Well, I'm opening a new loot crate. So,
okay, what? Oh, you didn't even talk about it. What was it?
It's the protect. Hold on, one second.
Let's go back to me.
Yeah,
and I'll entertain the crew while you do that. So yeah, I don't know. This is not me doing Too Good Live. Are you back? All right.
Let's go.
Okay.
It's about cats this week.
Okay.
It's about other pets and protectors. So
who's your guest there?
This is Jackson.
Hi, Jackson.
Jackson wants to say hi.
All right. So I'm sorry. What was the loot crate this time?
Protectors.
Okay.
So Black Panther T-shirt on right now after seeing the movie.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some Pacific Rim swag.
Nice.
Some cup holders. Let's see. We got Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon.
Nice.
And then a couple other things, a couple maps, things like that. A couple exclusives. It was a fun box. Okay. I really like the T-shirt. T-shirt's really nice. It's a nice Black Panther T-shirt. So,
okay. Are you gonna have something up on your site about all that stuff?
I think we're gonna run through it on Instagram. I think that's kind of the best way. Like open throughout the day. Kind of take pictures of it.
Oh, I like that. It's a good idea. It's clever.
It's quick. It's easy. It gets it out there. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, how about I catch up with you next week?
Sounds good.
All right, dude. It's good talking to you.
Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Bye.
And we'll be right back.
Something new in Gotham City. It's Batman, like you've never seen him before.
Hey, Joker, a Batarang surprise! Missed me. Time for a change.
That disguise won't work, Joker.
No, try this. So long, Batman.
That's it. Wings out. Fire!
You've got great new weapons, Batman. But I don't run out of tricks.
You'll need them.
Batman, the Dark Knight Collection. Batman like you've never seen him before, each sold separately.
All right, so yes, at the top of the show, I did say we weren't going to talk too much Toy Fair. But in this case, we have to. I want to take a look at this. I want to open this. I want to devalue this right in front of you. Now, in that last segment, Khalil and I were talking about the Mezco Toys 112 Collective Astounding, I forget the title of the figure, of that Batman figure. Astonishing? I wish that Larry were here to remind me of what the name, it's A something. Anyway, we're talking about that figure and devaluing it. He devalued it at Toy Fair, which is amazing considering that it's going for $6,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to devalue this right here, right in front of you. We're going to take a good look at this. This is a statue, part of DC Comics' new Artist Alley line that's going to be coming out in 2018. They have this coming out in a variant black and white. It's by Chris Uminga. Sorry about that, Chris. It's Chris Uminga. When you're on the show, I promise to pronounce it correctly. Chris Uminga. So what's so special about this one? Well, first of all, it has the Toy Fair logo right there at the top. And on the back of the statue, which we're going to take out of the box, it also has a logo on the back. What's neat is the actual packaging for this figure is going to have a window box, and then it's going to have this little part for you to actually get signed by that artist, if you can find that artist in Artist Alley. So, without further ado, let's crack this open. Does it say who it was sculpted by? Damn, talk about coming unprepared. Well, let's see. Yes, Joe Menna, sculpted by Joe Menna, designed by Chris Uminga. All right, so how's it going? Let's get this out of the box. Let's do this. Let's do a little shaky shake. There we go. Let's bring this over here. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. And let's put the box down here. Right there. Let's move Black Canary over and give you a look. Look at that. That's pretty sharp. I like the colors on it. It's very, very metallic looking. All right, let's take him out of the box. Along with the statue, we got some promotional items. You know what I always loved as a kid? This is what it came with. Other statues that are coming out in Artist Alley line. When you would get a toy, and I'm thinking of the Kenner Star Wars figures or play sets, they would always have the little catalog in them, and it had all the toys that are coming out. God, I love that. You don't get that enough anymore. All right, let's put this down here. Oh, and by the way, I'll have plenty of pictures of this statue by Chris Uminga on my website, the-newsbox.com. There you go. Take a look at that while I throw this out. I'm going to move this mic over a little bit, move this so we can get a better look. Look at that. Check that out. That is awesome. And there's that logo on the back. It's a vinyl figure, by the way. That's the other direction that they're going. They're doing more vinyl stuff. It's a neat sculpt. You gotta dig that. Check that out. I love his artwork. Yeah, it's really neat. I like the eyes. What I dig the most is the metallic finish. Let's see, what does it say? Oh shit, look at that. I'm number 141 of 300. Jealous. Don't be jealous because I just devalued it. Devalue. Oh, that's pretty cool. DC Collectibles, Chris Uminga. Definitely the old costume with the gray and blue. Still looking very Dark Knight-ish, and the yellow oval. Check that out. Look at that. That's pretty neat. I dig it, man. I don't have a retail or anything like that. I want to say $49.99, but do not quote me on any of that. I like the scowl. I mean, take a look. I love that look on his face. That's good stuff. Did I show you this side? There you go. I'll give you the back view. Utility belt's real neat. Just a really neat statue. Part of this line is going to be Superman, Wonder Woman, and like I said, they have black and white variants right here actually on this piece of paper. Oh, that's what's different about this one as well. The one that's coming out to mass market is actually his black and gray costume. This one, his Toy Fair one, is metallic blue. So that's interesting. So like I said, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman part of this line. And there is going to be a black and white version of this statue. So, very neat. Very cool. I'm going to have to find a spot for it back in the Newsbox Studios. So, that is the show. I'd like to thank myself for putting all this shit together. I'd like to thank Khalil for coming on again, talking Toy Fair with me. What's going on this week? We're going to wrap up Toy Fair 2018 coverage once and for all. I mean, I got plenty of other stuff to talk about, and I got stuff to show you guys. So we're going to wrap that up this week. I don't know if you remember a couple weeks ago, I was talking about a new Red Chair show where I got this Mezco Toys 112 Collective Suicide Squad girl from Fresh Figures. Suicide Squad girl. Harley Quinn figure, I should say. Well, yeah, I'm still working on that. That show, I swear to God, if it kills me, will be out this week. Maybe next week. That's Red Chair Show, Mezco Toys 112 Collective, Suicide Squad, not Suicide Squad Girl, or whatever I mumbled out, Harley Quinn. She's a cool figure, definitely coming out this week. Make sure you're looking for it. I'm Jesse. Make sure, the other thing I need you to make sure that to do is to tell your crazy aunt, tell your uncle, and your grandmother all about Saturday Night Losers. I'll see you next week.